Yeah. Yeah. Can you believe they told me that I would never make it? Now we smiling in their faces, smiling in their face.
And now all of you people are saying the same thing. But no one has said, maybe Nico was right.
Very wrong. And he's wrong with his depiction of what people were saying. I think that in this particular instance, Draymond Green is being incredibly unfair.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the show, man. It's Tyler Rose TV. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. For today's video, we got Draymond Green taking shots at the media. You know, Draymond thinks he's the new media. And specifically, Stephen A. Smith had to respond, or felt the need to respond to what Draymond had to say regarding Nico Harris and the whole Dallas trade. Now, I got a lot to say about this. Yeah, you don't want to miss today's show. I think I'm going to break down some interesting points here. So definitely hit that subscribe and hit the bell if you're new to the channel. But first, let's go ahead and get into what Draymond Green had to say. Then we're going to get into the clip of Stephen A. Smith. Let's get into today's video.
To see Luka Doncic traded away from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers. Like, you just don't see franchise players that young traded. You just don't see it. It's just not a normal thing. And so we were all shocked by that. And Nico Harrison continued to give his reasonings on why he believed that was the right thing to do for the Dallas Mavericks organization. Was it the right thing or wrong thing? I'm not a Dallas Maverick. I don't really care if it was the right thing or the wrong thing. But what I do care about is so many people crushed Nico Harrison for the reasons that he gave. And when Nico gave those reasonings, everybody said he's ridiculous, he's crazy. This has nothing to do with Luka, by the way, what I'm saying. But now when I turn on the TV, all I see is everybody in the media who crushed Nico Harrison, who essentially aided in him getting fired, regurgitating the same things that Nico Harrison was saying. And I struggle with that because I haven't seen one person come out and say, hey, Nico, I'm sorry for the things I said about you when you made that move. Because I just said the same thing out of my mouth. I struggle with that a bit. Again, this has nothing to do with Luka Doncic and everything to do with the media and Nico Harrison. Nico gave his reasonings as the general manager of a team of why he thought that was the right move. And everybody said, you're a fucking idiot. You should be fired. Worst general manager in NBA history. And now all of you people are saying the same thing. But no one has said, maybe Nico was right. Maybe Nico was validated in the move he made. Maybe Nico shouldn't have been fired. No one has said that. But everybody said Nico should be fired because he traded Luka. I struggle with this.
So Draymond Green makes some valid points, and we're going to get into the Stephen A. clip in just a second on the show, guys. But listen, man, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Draymond Green makes a lot of points. There's not too many times where I can say I agree with Draymond Green, because Draymond Green, to me, sometimes makes some invalid points. But here, I can understand where he's coming from. I do want to get at the fact that it's more so the fact that they did believe that they should have, got back more for a guy like Luka versus the reasons why he's trading Luka. I think more people were upset that he's trading Luka in general. And then more people were upset about, well, I guess you could say not more people, but there was a side that was upset that you would even think about trading Luka. And then the reason why they were like, oh, come on, he went to the finals. And then you had the other people that were like, hey, on this hand, you should have got more pieces back, because Mikal Bridges on the Knicks, they got 5 first-round picks for him. And they didn't get that many picks. I think they got 1, if not none, I think, for this trade. So that to me was something that you got to kind of like really break down, because there's 2 complete different sides of why people were complaining about the trade. But without further ado, let's get into what Stephen A. Smith had to say.
Very wrong. And he's wrong with his depiction of what people were saying. I think that in this particular instance, Draymond Green is being incredibly unfair. As a person that has his podcast, that's a member of the quote unquote new media, a phrase he's coined, listen, you're allowed to deduce what you see and come to a conclusion and spew your point of view. That's what he does. This man has a full-time job, getting paid an exorbitant amount of money, deserves every penny. He's a 4-time champion, a former Defensive Player of the Year, who will be a Hall of Famer. He has the credentials to say what he says, but in the same breath, be fair about it. The reality of the situation is that Draymond is saying that because he's fond of Nico Harrison. Well, I got news for you. A lot of us are fond of Nico Harrison. Nico Harrison is a great guy. Vinny, Wendy, I know you guys have met him. You guys have spoken to him. Who dislikes Nico Harrison? Who has a negative thing to say about Nico Harrison, the person, or anything like that? Who had a negative thing to say about him prior to the trade? Nobody. He had helped lead the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA Finals and made some deals that were, the Kyrie Irving deal, the PJ Washington, a Daniel Gafford. He did a lot of good moves. I mean, this understandably so. But the Luka Doncic thing stands out. And Draymond Green should know better in terms of when you're talking about highlighting what transpired. The man is unemployed now. Why do you think that is? You think it is an accident? You think there's no correlation? The fact of the matter is that Luka Doncic, for all of his flaws, was a 25-year-old basketball global iconic figure. He wasn't just a great basketball player on the court. He was good for business because of his global appeal. And you let that go. And how do you let it go? It wasn't just that you traded Luka Doncic. You traded him for a dude that was almost 6 years older, that was just as, if not more, injury prone. And by the way, when he arrived, he had a great game, a great half, his opening game, and then obviously got injured. That was the concern. And the real issue, the egregious part about it, which Draymond again should know, and he should know from personal experience, because before the trading deadline, when it was a possibility that he was going to be traded, what did the Golden State Warriors, led under Joe Lacob and Steve Kerr and these boys, actually do? They put feelers out there to see what level of marketability he would generate. That is not what Nico Harrison did. Nico Harrison got on the phone with one dude, which was, Rob Pelinka.
All right, so what Stephen A. Smith had to say and what Draymond had to say, both of them were correct in their own way. Here's the thing. The NBA is a business. Ask yourself this. Do you really think that Nico Harris is not smart enough to have an open market for Luka Doncic? Just think about that. Do you think that he gets to that position and in his mind and his understanding of basketball knowledge that he doesn't know, if I put Luka on the trade market and make it known, I can receive more for him? You don't think he knows that? He does. Here's the thing. The NBA is a business. David Stern is notorious for saying, if I could have an NBA Finals, it would be the Lakers versus the Lakers. So if the management and owners were not on line with giving him this max contract because his defensive liability and the fact that they don't trust him with the future of the Mavs, they were already ready to trade the guy. Meaning they were probably already had a deal behind doors, a shaking hand agreement, a wink in the gun. Like, if you trade away Luka to the LA Lakers, we will guarantee you the first pick, and this is the Cooper flag, draft, and that's his franchise looking like player right now, right? So there has to be something done behind closed doors, because obviously he's close to Rob Pelinka and the Lakers and Kobe and Nico is close to those people. So obviously there's something behind the scenes that says, hey, we're gonna take him to the Lakers. NBA's like, cool, you go to the Lakers, guess what? You get the first round pick. The Dallas Mavericks had a 1.8 chance of landing the top selection. A 1.8 chance. After that, they should have played the Mega Millions. So do you believe in coincidences, or do you think that is just magic? That's just the way things work. Come on, man. You guys are smarter than that, right? I think my subscribers are smarter than that. My support, my fan base out there, you guys are smarter than this, right? Come on, man. There's no way you're going to look me in my eye and tell me that you think they had that 1.8 chance. It was so easy. It was just so easy for that to happen, right? That was it. They just easy. 1.8 chance, of course. As soon as you trade away Luka, you get the first pick. No. There's a reason things happen. Of course, you could have got more for Luka if you opened the market up. But of course, you had a deal behind the scenes to really get what you really wanted, which is a first-round pick, which is another franchise player like a Luka who plays better defense, who has extremely talented and has a great upside. So these are my thoughts. I agree with both Stephen A. and I agree with both Draymond. They both made valid points here. But at the end of the day, we know what's really going on with the NBA. We know how things go. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one, man. Peace.